Just thought I'd send a few thoughts out. I had a few discussions on, some of the social media regarding some of the things going on in the world, and the sort of the exasperation that people are feeling regarding world events. And something I just thought I'd throw out there is, when we start to see world events, and people think these are all just kind of random sort of happenings, but in reality they're all tied together, and they're all done for a specific purpose. And the purpose is for the sort of that the low vibrational frequencies to sort of amplify across the entire planet. Because my gut feeling is that the push, the closer we get to the election, the greater the push is going to be by the global cabal. Which is why I think we've seen the definite increase in the chemtrails. We've got all the happenings in the Middle East, and people don't know that the bomber from New York City that set off the pressure cooker bombs, people don't understand that was done on purpose, and it was to divert the media attention to that event instead of the bombing runs that Obama was doing on a Syrian base. Because Obama said that he wouldn't use U.S. forces against Syria, because he knows that Syria has allies in Russia, China, and North Korea, and of course Iran. Well, he does these bombing runs, which are then claimed to be quote unquote accidents, and in order to hide it to where the media doesn't talk about it, because if we didn't have the bomber in New York, well then that would be the front page story. That would be, U.S. bombs Syrian base on accident. Well, no, it wasn't accidental. It was deliberate, because they're trying to move that push towards the final end game. And something that's come to me as far as like some of the discussions that I've been having on some of the social media, it's like it's designed, we hear about the divide and conquer mentality, and that's really what they're working on, is they're trying to keep everybody divided. And the entities behind the power structure, they feed off of the low vibrational frequencies, and that's the animosity, the anger, the rage, the division, all those things feed that low vibrational frequency, and that's what these entities feed off of. And so the consciousness awakening that we are experiencing, which is some of the reasons why they couldn't push their agenda faster, because people are waking up and they're researching for themselves some of these seemingly outlandish fairy tales that they're discovering are absolutely true. The chemtrails. When people first started discovering chemtrails, it was, that's just the altitudes and the jet fuel, and, the news told me that that's what that was. Well, lo and behold, that outlandish fairy tale is not so outlandish now, is it? And that's kind of where we're at as far as these incremental steps that we're taking towards this awareness, towards this awakening. And because of that global initiative to move towards that new world order has been somewhat stymied, because they're discovering that there's much more resistance to it than they originally had expected. And so now, because the greatest way to change a society is through war, and so what'll happen is that, you know, society becomes more benevolent and benign and agreeable. Well, that raises frequency levels. It takes it to a higher frequency level. These entities can't exist in that higher frequency level. They have to have the low vibration stuff. And so when we take it into a higher frequency level, when it's more, you know, of the you know, peace, love, and harmony mentality, well, these entities can't survive. And so that's when, you know, conflict is brought, and where the, you know, wars break out, or genocide, or, you know, and that's why the media propagates it as much as they do, because it's all the division. If we don't live in harmony, then we live in division. And division is that animosity. It's that low vibrational stuff. And so just from, you know, interactions on the social media, I can see that even the information that is out there, you know, I'm suspecting that it's by design, because you have people that are, you know, willing to accept the information more readily than others. And so what happens is the people that you know, these truths are resonating with are trying to express the information that they've gathered, and they're trying to inform others, and the others that are, you know, less inclined to believe, then in turn try to, you know, the famously quote unquote debunk the information. And so I think it's just another form of division. You know, we've got racial tensions, we've got you know, police tensions, we've got international tensions, we've got political tensions, and now we're seeing tensions with, you know, truthers and non, you know, divisions between flat earthers and global and the sphericals, I guess you would call it. You know, people that believe we're on a flat earth and people that believe we're on a spinning ball. And so there's more divisions, and people who are aware of chemtrails and people that don't believe it. You know, so it's all designed to create division and animosity. And so now if we keep that in mind as we're having our discussions, whether you know, whatever truth is resonating with you as you're having a discussion about it, because, you know, the thing is obviously if you're stumbling across my rantings and ravings and my, you know, babblings, you're obviously in search of something that has piqued your interest, because I'm not going to be located somewhere in the search that is, you know, baseball, puppy dogs, and kittens. You know, I'm going to be in an area that you're searching. And so what you find that resonates true with you as you have your discussions, you know, if we can try to mentally keep in mind to come at it from a position of patience, of open-mindedness, and not trying to impose our information onto others, but to have a discussion, you know, not a debate or Because a debate, it's, you have a point that you're trying to present, and your counterpart has a point that they're trying to present. And if we go into these discussions as exactly that, and mindful that they are discussions, then we can actually raise the consciousness and awareness, and we can actually raise the human feeling to the higher frequencies. And those higher frequencies are what is going to, ultimately be the demise of the control system. So, as you're looking at world events, and as you're looking at, social media, as you're entering into these discussions, or, you're researching this information, we have to be mindful that it's not all doom and gloom. It's not all, just fear-mongering. It's not all hopeless. Because when you stop and you think, when you have a situation where you assist somebody, right, where you're offering up your assistance without, being prompted to, where you see somebody that's in need, whether it's, you hand a homeless man $5, or whether you see somebody's car that's stalled on the side of the road and you help to push it off the road, or whether you have a family member that, needs assistance, and you just offer it, and you think about how you feel afterwards. You feel great. And then when you consider some of the frustrations you feel in some of the discussions, or, when you get angry, have you ever gotten so angry that you just shook with rage? Or have you ever gotten, ever been so joyous that your hands were shaking because you're so happy? Well, that's exactly what the existence is. It's all vibrational. And if you're aware of it, when you shake with rage, when you finally do start to calm down, you're sore. You pulled a freaking muscle because you were so tensed up. When you shake with joy or happiness, it's like your whole entire body is relaxed. So I just thought I'd throw this out there, just because of some of the discussions I've been in, and seeing just the vitriol and the hatred, and realizing that we can actually make a difference by patience, open-mindedness, and concern. If somebody made a comment to me about getting results, and for myself, that's not the end of it. It's not. What we're trying to do is, not only are we trying to awaken others, but we should also be mindful of expanding our own consciousness, because there's things that people are going to know that we don't. And so it's the idea that if we can go at it from patience, kindness, and what we in this realm call love in our discussions, I think we're going to be better off in the end, because we're going to be able to expand the awareness of more, as well as adding to our own awareness. So just something that's been kind of nipping at me over some of the discussions I've had over the last few days, where I just thought I'd put that out there, and I hope it helps. Thank you, and have a good day.